to coast, direct from Austin. You're listening to the Alex Jones Broadcasting Network.
Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
There's a lot of news breaking on the Ebola front. You name it. We'll be covering it tonight, 7 o'clock Central, InfoWars Nightly News. Going back to Froggo in England. What's your bottom line on Scottish independence? I have said I'm all for Scotland being independent from the UK because the UK is already under EU control to begin with. You've almost got to devolve to be able to evolve in these political systems now, and it's their right. But yes, there are a lot of big mega banks and others that are even bigger than the UK itself. They're going to come in and try to loot Scotland afterwards. What's your take on it?
Scottish, quote, independence, unquote, is a screw job of Obamacare proportions. Is it not weird? Cameron is claiming that he's in favour of preserving the Union, that he is the man who pushed for the referendum. When the SNP had been pumping that line for about 30 years that I can remember.
Well, is that because it'll get rid of Labour voters and he thinks it'll help his party?
Got it. You totally got it. It will kind of decimate the Labour Party's chances of winning an election in what's left of the UK. It will mean permanent Tory government in England and Wales. It will also mean permanent Tory government in Scotland, because the only serious opposition to the Labour Party for the last 20 years is the SNP. Now, if I were the Tory party, if I were Tory central office, I would observe the steady decline in the fortunes of the party in Scotland. It used to be a Tory heartland. Andrew Bonar-Law, Tory Prime Minister, had a constituency in Glasgow. And somehow the party went from doing quite nicely there to having 0 seats.
There's no doubt they're going to try to screw different globalist interest. Will try to screw any new deal that comes up. I hear you. I just fundamentally, if Texas tries to secede, there'll be some scam involved to take that over. Anything and everything will get manipulated, but we're going to find out very soon. I do see what you're saying. I am aware of what you're saying. That's how I was able to predict what you were about to say. I just want to show that I know UK politics a little bit. I'm not just talking out of my you-know-what here. Arse, as they would say in Scotland. But thank you so much. Look, I'm basically out of time. One more call. Paul in California. Sorry to Debbie, TJ, and JP. Paul, you're our tail gunner. Go ahead.
Thanks. I think, money's important. The truth is important. And the easiest thing for us to get them waiting for a shoe to drop is attack them, and that's through audit the Fed.
I agree, and Ron Paul's bill, even though he's not in Congress, is back in the House again, getting a lot of votes.
Yeah, we need to get them worried as opposed to us being worried about all of the stuff they're throwing at us. And I think that audit the Fed is the way.
Good point, sir. I want to go to JP real quick since he's still there. I didn't know the Feds purchased the Biodome. JP, tell me about that.
Well, in February of this year, I was doing some work for a production company looking for new shows in North Carolina because it's a hotspot. I was doing on survivalists. I came across this company called the Biodome, and this interesting guy. I started talking to him. He came up with a filtration system that he had the government, the military test, and it blew away anything that they had. So even the inspector for the military actually...
Okay, when you said Biodome, I thought you meant that thing that NASA was involved in to test a Mars base. You're talking about some kind of filter?
Exactly. And bottom line is he got a military contract to supply any vehicle that the government has with these bio. And he said, look, by the end of the year, I'm going to be a billionaire. And it's crazy. I'll give you the website. I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, send us the email and show tips. We're out of time. Great job to the crew. We are out of time. Lord willing, we'll be back tomorrow, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central. Nightly News Tonight, 7. That's because as crazy as this world is and as big as this broadcast is, I don't take it for granted that we're here every day. I thank God above because we got a lot of enemies out there, so please pray for us. Thank you all.
The Genesis Communications Network is one of America's premier broadcast